What's up, apartment investors? Today's podcast is actually about a 24-unit apartment building in Fort Collins that my friend Brandon Kaufman is listing, and we're going to do a quick rundown about the property because it is very unique and has some great benefits, and he's going to run us through all the details. Brandon, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing really good. So, first off, this is a gorgeous property. Like, people have to at least go check out the picture, see a really cool mural on there, which I know is the most important thing, but that caught my eye.
I think it's really important. For residents, for investors, it's just like as you approach a property, the outside tells kind of what's going on in the inside. And so for this one, they did a really good job with the grass, with the landscaping, with the mural, with the building paint, the roofs, the windows. It just is a really clean property. The parking lot's in good shape. There's a park right next to it. So, if you're looking at it and it's clean on the outside, it's pretty representative of how things are on the inside too. That's
a good point. It's very eye-catching and it is very, very well maintained, which sets the tone for the residents and everyone else. So, step back. This is in Fort Collins. What part of town? Kind of give us the big overview, then let's drill down the property.
So it's like, it is by the main area of Fort Collins. It's a little bit north. It's about a mile north of, that main street where all the action is. So you don't get a ton of students here. Every time I've been in it, there haven't been any students. So it is a true market rate deal, which there isn't a lot of in Fort Collins.
When you say market rate deal, what does that exactly mean? That's different from student housing?
So you have just standard apartment renters, you have families, you have roommates, and you just the market rate rental.
Okay, so market rate rental. And something that you were, a phrase that stuck out to me as we were talking about this earlier, is you said, this lives like a home, is how you describe the units. Elaborate on that.
They're large units. The unit mix is primarily 3 bedrooms. There's 4-bedroom units. There's some 2 bedrooms and sprinkle in a couple ones, but primarily 3-bedroom units. So the average median home price in Fort Collins is about $500,000. So these have washer dryers. These have individual furnaces, heaters. So you're going to have long-term tenants here. You're going to have people that maybe not necessarily want to go put $100,000 or be able to put $100,000 on a home, but at least have a residence where they actually can make it a home.
Yeah. I know also on the property, there is some potential development. What is that about?
Yeah, so just to the south of it, right by the park, there's a pretty good size piece of land. And the zoning's for single family, duplex. Conceivably, you can do something. So whoever buys this can go down the path of splitting it off, selling it to a developer, or develop it themselves. Okay,
so there's potential there to take that parcel and just do something else with it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, awesome.
As
it sits right now, it's really nice amenity for residents. That's a big grassy area, so you do have a lot of kids running through there. Having a good time.
The layout, if you guys get the chance to look at the photo on there, you got the property, that parcel land, and then I think it's just south of it is just a very nice park, which is, it's got to be great for the families and residents, right?
Yeah, the city put it in. It's really, well maintained. Yeah. They keep track of it.
Yeah, that's a big plus there. So I don't know much about Fort Collins. I've been there. I love the area, but give us some ideas about the Fort Collins market.
Yeah, that's the biggest part right there is loving the area. So, it's been voted number 1 place to live in America multiple times, multiple prints. And so it's an incredible area. I think it's great for students, obviously, but as just in terms of living there, it's number 1 in the country. So with these residents, they are actually experiencing Fort Collins the same way that, it's voted in that sense. The thing with it in an apartment market is there's so infrequent transactions. I guess I'm trying to say it's a low volume market in the sense only 7 deals traded last year below 100 units and even less the year before. So whenever anything comes up, there's a ton of attention. And then if you even just get on the phones and you have all the owners' numbers in Fort Collins, what would you sell for? Any price. I'll give you a price. No, I don't want to. I'm leaving this for my kids. So people who buy here, hold on here. This is in a way a legacy asset. Good part of town, really quiet, really residential. And someone whoever buys this is going to, do really well and hold it for a while.
And I think those points you talked about, just like the low turnover apartment buildings, the attitude of the owner is like, hey, I'm not looking to sell this. This is a multi-decade hold for kids or grandkids. that right there just speaks so much about the market. Because, I mean, you can change a mural, you can renovate the properties, they change all the stuff, but you can't move the location. That's the one thing. Yeah. And this location is just, it's awesome.
Location, the type of resident that lives there is really good people.
So let's kind of talk a little bit numbers on here. Like, give us a basic rundown of the numbers. Is it a turnkey asset? Is there upside? Like, give us a rundown.
Sure. So it's really well maintained, roofs, furnaces, windows, everything, CapEx, large numbers, the sliders, the balconies, everything like that has been taken care of. It has had a in-unit renovation. So, it's very clean. It's very clean. You can do a couple more things, maybe add a backsplash, maybe upgrade a vanity in the bathroom, but I don't really foresee that being the pop on this deal. It's more of just continuing to increase rents through, seasoning of the property. He did a lease up in the middle of COVID and switched management companies midway through COVID. So it's just now starting to season. So right now it's a 4.25 cap going in, which is palatable with where debt is. We have Freddie financing quotes. We have local debt quotes if you do want to push leverage on it. So you're going to make money day one here and then just continue to, push rents. Like every single 1-bedroom unit is below $1,000 and you don't get that even in Aurora. So there, like I said, 3-bedroom units should be renting right around $1,800. Currently the average is like $1,600. So just continually seasoning the property. I don't think you have to put a ton of money in at all in order to do that right away.
For, a lot of investors, that's music to their ears because, hey, place ready to go park some money. It's cash flowing from day one. Mm-hmm. Units turn, cool. Just bump up the rents and increase cash flow that way.
Yeah, and just ride the wave of a good area. Mm-hmm.
So who would you say, what type of investor would this be a great fit for?
I think it's a huge buyer pool. $6.5 million. There's a lot of people out there in exchange. Hey, I have $2 million I have to place. I want something clean. They worked really hard managing their last asset. This is a clean property that's going to make more money than their last asset. But you also are kind of competing in that syndication pool, the people that have investors and these returns work for investors. So the idea here is just, once again, as always, for every owner, creating the biggest buyer pool. And at this price tag, with the way this property is set up and the way the owner has done their renovations, it fits a lot of buyers' needs.
Oh, that's great for you and the owner. So, this is going to get a lot of eyeballs on there. And, for all the details, you guys have put together a very detailed offering memorandum. Lots of pictures, high-level stats, financials. There's some debt quotes in there as well. So go download it. Let's go to the Kaufman Hagan website, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go there. We'll put a link in the show notes as well. But you started talking about just, as kind of what we're doing here at Kaufman Hagan and kind of marketing commercial properties differently. Mm-hmm. You started touching on there, which is something that I'm really excited about because it's we did this for the last property you had. Turned out very well. We got some amazing feedback from people seeing the way it was marketed between the podcast, the digital ad blitz. Mm-hmm. In my mind, just very exciting stuff. And based on the feedback, it's people notice oh, you guys are doing something a little different.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we've definitely put a ton of effort into it, have a lot of manpower, a lot of hours. And the idea is just to create the best scenario to represent each individual property. And it's not representing us as a company. It's we're the marketers of a property. And I think we're doing a really good job of that. Yeah,
very well said. So, viewers out there, investors, you guys want the details of the property, go download the OM. If you are an owner out there and want to see what the KH difference is, how it's being marketed, Brandon said it very well. It's about marketing the property. Reach out to Brandon. He's the man when it comes to this. Brandon, any final thoughts or details you want to share on the property before we wrap this one up?
I feel really good about what we've talked about. I think this is a really exciting opportunity in Fort Collins that just things don't trade up there. So,
one last question. What's the rough timeline for when this goes to market? Mm-hmm. Any timelines for buyers to keep in mind for the seller? What's the rough time frame?
Probably as you're listening to this podcast is when we'll kind of be in the heat of it. So we'll be doing tours right about now and, just accepting offers as they come, gathering them, go through the best and final process.
All right. And if people are interested, Are you the guy to reach out to?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
Call me, email me.
Great. All of Brandon's contact details will be in the show notes below. Guys want the details of the property, reach out to the website, reach out to us. We'll get you those details. Thanks a lot, Brandon.
Thank you.